Picture this. It is 11:30 on a Tuesday night. You are lying in bed, the blue light of your phone illuminating the dark room. You are scrolling. Suddenly, there it is. A sleek, beautiful gadget, or maybe a designer jacket. It is something you did not know existed 5 minutes ago, but now you feel this sudden, intense physical need to own it. Your thumb hovers over the Buy Now button. Your heart rate is up. You click. The order is confirmed. A quick hit of pure, unfiltered dopamine rushes through your brain. But then, fast forward to Thursday afternoon. The package arrives. You open it, look at the item, and nothing. The excitement is gone. Instead, you feel that familiar, heavy pit of buyer's remorse in your stomach. Another $100 gone. Another step further from your savings goals. Why do we keep doing this to ourselves? Most personal finance advice tells you to just have more willpower. They tell you to make a strict budget, cut out your daily coffee, and live like a monk. But let's be honest. That does not work. It just makes you feel deprived, and eventually, you snap and go on an even bigger spending spree. The real problem is not a lack of willpower. It is a lack of a system. A system that scales with your actual life. That is where the 1% rule comes in. It is a simple, math-based boundary that instantly halts major overspending without making you feel like you are on a financial diet. And the best part? It scales automatically to your unique income. Here is how it works. First, you need to identify your net monthly income. That is the actual cash that hits your bank account every month after taxes. Let us say you bring home $4,000 a month. Now, take exactly 1% of that number. For you, that is $40. This $40 is your personal baseline. The rule is incredibly simple. For every 1% of your monthly income and item costs, you must force yourself to wait one full day before buying it. Let that sink in for a moment. If you want to buy a nice dinner that costs $40, that is exactly 1% of your income. Your waiting period is 1 day. Easy. But what if you are looking at a new television that costs $400? That is 10% of your monthly income. Under this rule, you must wait 10 full days before you are allowed to buy it. And if you are eyeing a luxury vacation or a high-end laptop that costs $2,000, that is 50% of your income. You wait 50 days. Do you see what is happening here? Standard money advice tells everyone to wait 30 days for every purchase. But that makes no sense. Waiting 30 days to buy a $40 pair of shoes is frustrating and impractical. Meanwhile, waiting only 24 hours to buy a $2,000 item is dangerously fast. The 1% rule fixes this because the pause button it presses is perfectly proportional to the financial damage the purchase could do to your life. It protects your bank account where it is most vulnerable. But here is the twist. This rule is not actually designed to stop you from buying things you love. It is designed to kill the impulse. Psychologists have a term for what happens when we shop. It is called the dopamine transfer. We think we get the happy chemicals when we finally hold the item in our hands. But brain scans show that the peak of your dopamine release actually happens during the anticipation of the purchase. It happens when you are searching, comparing, and clicking add to cart. Once the transaction is complete, the dopamine drops off a cliff. This is why the package on your doorstep never feels as exciting as the image on your screen. By forcing a scaled waiting period, you are letting that chemical storm pass. You are giving your prefrontal cortex, the logical, rational part of your brain, time to wake up and take the wheel. To make this incredibly easy to implement, you should start what I call a release date list. This can be a simple note on your phone. When you find something you want to buy that exceeds your 1% threshold, do not close the tab in anger. Instead, write down the name of the item, the price, and the release date. The release date is simply today's date plus the number of waiting days required by the math. Once it is on the list, you are officially allowed to stop thinking about it. You have not said no. You have just said not yet. This simple act of writing it down tricks your brain into feeling like the purchase is already in progress, satisfying a bit of that initial craving. Let us look at how this plays out in real life. Imagine a friend of ours named Sarah. Sarah earns $5,000 a month. Her 1% threshold is $50. She is walking through a store and sees a gorgeous espresso machine for $500. It is sleek, it has glowing lights, and she can already taste the perfect lattes she will make every morning. In the past, she would have swiped her card instantly. But Sarah uses the 1% rule. $500 is 10% of her $5,000 income. She needs to wait 10 days. She pulls out her phone, writes espresso machine on her release date list, and sets the release date for 10 days from now. On day 1, she is obsessed. She thinks about the espresso machine 3 times. On day 3, she starts doing some research. She reads reviews and realizes that particular model is notoriously hard to clean. On day 6, she calculates that she would need to make 125 lattes at home just to break even on the cost. By day 10, the novelty has completely worn off. She realizes she actually enjoys her quick 5-minute walk to the local coffee shop every morning because it gets her out of the house and talking to people. The urge is gone. She deletes the item from her list. She keeps her $500. This is not a hypothetical story. This is how human psychology works. More than 70% of the things we put on our release date lists end up being things we do not even want anymore when the timer runs out. And for the other 30%? The things you still desperately want after the waiting period is over? Go buy them. Buy them with absolutely zero guilt. Because now you know it is not a fleeting impulse. It is a genuine desire that will bring actual value to your life. You have earned it and you have planned for it. Think about how much money is slipping through your fingers right now on these mid-tier impulse purchases. The $300 online shopping sprees. The $200 gadgets. If you use this rule to stop just 3 or 4 of those purchases this year, you will easily save over $1,000. If you invest that saved money in a simple index fund, compounding at a historic 8%, that single year of saved impulses turns into over $10,000 in 25 years. One tiny shift in how you buy things today builds a massive financial cushion for your future self. You are closer to financial freedom than you think. You do not need a higher salary or a miserable, restrictive lifestyle. You just need a system that protects you from your own chemistry. Try this out this week. Calculate your 1% number right now. Write it down on a sticky note or put it in the Notes app on your phone. The next time you feel that sudden, burning urge to buy something, run the math. See how many days you need to wait. If you found this helpful and you want to keep building a wealthier, more intentional life, hit the subscribe button. We talk about the real, practical psychology of money every single week, and I would love to have you along for the journey. Until next time, keep your money smart and your life rich.